All right, what is going on, guys? We have a very special guest in the building with us. We've got Central Arkansas Edge, David Walker. And if you haven't heard of David before, oh boy, you're going to be excited to hear this conversation. Three-time consecutive first team All-American, three straight conference defensive player of the year awards, and the Buck Buchanan Award winner for the nation's top FCS defender last season. Woo! That's quite the resume. We're going to get into it all on the other side, but you guys already know what to do. Drop an SDS in the chat, smash that like button, and let's get into it right now. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see it. David, I appreciate your time, man. How has this process been treating you? I know that we are like, 11 or like 10 days away from the draft. How has this whole process gone for you, just from like a high level standpoint?
Yeah, hey, the intro is nice, bro. For real. Yeah, that's
Appreciate
hard. But yeah, it's been good. I feel like it's been really long because I started right after college. I left to go train down in Arizona at Exos December the 9th, I think. And then it's just been a whirlwind from then. Had to play in the Senior Bowl. That was awesome. Got the chance to go to the combine. That was I feel like that was a dream come true. Just as a kid, that's the stuff you dream about. You see all the big guys and all the big names are at the combine. I got the chance to be alongside those guys. So I feel like, man, this whole process, it's been good. It's been stressful, but like I feel like it's a good stressful.
Oh yeah, of course. And I actually think back to the combine, and I think of you putting together one of the sickest, cleanest backflips I think I've seen, because it's become now like a tradition. When the day is over for whatever group, you guys like run to the end zone, right? And then that's when we start seeing all the backflips. And we typically see the backflips from the wide receivers and the running backs and the DBs. But we got a D end out here, like, and you like laid out. It was like I was like 10 out of 10 execution. How did it feel? Like, what were you nervous about throwing it, or were you just like, I'm good at throwing backflips? I feel good about what I'm about to do.
Yeah, man. All my life, I've always flipped. No matter the size, I always knew how to flip. So I always been good, comfortable doing that.
No, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. But I want to kind of hop back into like your journey and kind of like almost get us back to this point where you're at right now, getting ready to. I mean, your life's about to change, right? Because you're definitely going to get drafted. The NFL would be absolutely insane to not let you get picked by a team. So I fully am confident that you're going to get drafted. Who knows, maybe like in those mid rounds, but I'm really excited to see where you're going to go. But let's talk about where you've been. In college, you actually were a D2 kid, right?
Yeah.
You started out D2. I played a little D2, so it makes me feel good to have a fellow D2 player on the channel. What was that process like, starting out Division II, and how did you end up there?
Yeah, I got hurt my senior year, my last high school football game. But I always knew, man. I always knew that I can go play college football. Like I've always believed in my ability and my talents to be able to do that. So I walked on to Southern Arkansas University, and man, it just changed from then. I got redshirted my first year because of the injury I came off of, and then that second year COVID hit. So it was really tough. It was really tough. It was um, a lot of ups and downs. And that third year, man, it was my breakout year. I did pretty good, and I feel like I can go to the next level, like the D1 level, and compete with those guys too. So I took a chance on the portal.
So you start out D2, you realize like, all right, I'm definitely capable of playing at this level. Now I want to try to test and go play some D1, whether it's Power 5 or FCS level. what was the process that led you to Central Arkansas? I mean, seems like you're pretty close to home your
Yeah.
whole college career. So what was that process like for you landing with Central Arkansas?
Yeah, it was big for family on me. I knew some family members that played for Central Arkansas. I had
Oh, cool.
connections there already. My house was an hour away, and
Oh, that's
it,
nice.
it just felt like home. You know what I mean? So that was the spot for me.
That's cool. So when you got there, how quickly did you realize, like, oh, I'm going to be able to dominate at this level too?
Yeah, I feel like it all re-enters to like the my work ethic, like how I attack the day, how I attack certain things. I feel like that what separates me from a lot of people, and like just going into it, I was hitting the weight room hard, and we went into spring ball. I just knew that man, if I just work, that's all I know is work, and I feel like that showed the first day. You know what I mean? Showed that I was separated from a lot of guys, and my coaches, man, they believed in me.
Well, you put in the work, and we started the intro with listing some of your accolades. 3 consecutive first team All American. Was it 3 straight Conference Defensive Player of the Year award?
Yeah.
And I think this was the first to get the Bucket Buchanan Award for the nation's best FCS defensive player. What was that like? I mean, you racked up 31 sacks in 3 years, 191 tackles, 63 TFLs. Like, that is nothing to scoff at. And that's insane production. And not only insane because of just the sheer numbers and volume, but the consistency. Like consistency, even going from D2 level to then jumping to FCS, and just it just seems like there's a consistent pattern with your game. Would you say that's a big part of the success that you've been able to kind of experience?
Yeah, man. I give it all glory to God, man. I feel like um, just the way I take it back to like the way I attack things, like the preparation, like how it starts, like in the summer, like I'm grinding every day. I'm trying to do the best. My first part of the summer though, I usually take it off and I go on mission trips and I just give my time to the Lord, and I feel like my coaches, my outside linebacker coach, he just helped me a lot. Just putting the time and the effort of helping me perfect my craft, perfecting the things that people think are weaknesses, but they're really my strengths. And man, it's just a lot of work that people don't see, and then I feel like that's what made me into the player I am today. And I consistently do it. So like that consistency never wavers. And when it does, I just go back to where it all started.
Can you talk a little bit about your faith, like in this process? I know, like in just what I've learned about you, faith is super ingrained into every single thing that you do on the field. So how does that help you, and how do you channel like the stresses of this process? Like you were mentioning that like you started grinding right after the season ended, and it's been a nonstop. And we know it's almost like the pre-draft process is kind of meant to break you a little bit, right? Because you go through the season, and then it's combine training, Senior Bowl training, then it's back to there's so many different elements of it. So how's your faith been a huge impact to you, not only in this process but just your whole life in general?
Yeah, oh man. I feel like this me finding my faith. It really changed every aspect of my life because you know what I mean. It's like once you find something that's so good, that's so fulfilling, that the world can't fulfill. I feel like the things that you stress about, that you used to stress about, are not stressing you anymore. And I feel like the football aspect of it is just like the things that people say, like, oh, he's too short, oh, he's not this. I feel like God has already told me, like, I'm capable of doing those things. You know what I mean? And that I'm going to put you in front of that crowd of people, in front of the world, and showcase the talents and the gifts that I gave you. So, man, it's just leaning on him for strength. He gives for courage, and just having a good support system around you. I feel like that's the biggest part. You know what I mean? But it starts with the faith. It starts with what you believe in, and that keeps me grounded, humble, and all.
So, and I got a chance to talk to you at the Senior Bowl as well, and it just kind of like your energy was just when I think of David Walker, I'm like, that dude is so humble, so chill and grounded. You mentioned grounded being something as well. So you mentioned it. Like you look at the production, you look at what you've been able to do, and we know, man, the pre-draft process is who's the tallest, who has the longest arms, all that kind of stuff, and it just like it's almost like a hyper focus
Mhm.
on the physical measurables and almost like the intangible aspects of what makes a football player great. At least from the public perspective. Obviously, teams and certain teams are going to dive into who you are as a person and all of that. And they're going to want to know those kinds of things. But how has this process been for you as someone who isn't considered by the public norm to be a prototypical sized defensive lineman? Like what does that do for you in this process?
Yeah, man, I feel like the Senior Bowl just helped me a lot. Seeing all the first round guys, all the big talent guys, just getting compete against them, just to seeing where I'm at. I feel like that boosted my confidence so much, and I got the chance to talk to John Randall at the combine,
Ooh.
and like we're like the same height in here, and I was just asking him questions about, man, how like how did you do this, and he was just telling me, man, they put the pads on just like you. You know what I mean? Don't go in there afraid. Just go in there with the confidence that you have, and just show them why you belong. And I feel like that right there stuck with me since the combine, and that's going to stick with me throughout my career.
Man, I love that. Like John Randall was a legend, man. Back in the day, doing what he was able to do. It was funny. My John Randall story was the first year that I was covering the combine. We had this like little section before it was like media only in one spot.
Yeah.
So we were by the NFL Network booths, and we were going to this one spot every day. And we walk over, and there's a guy sitting over there. And we're like, all right, well, we're gonna go put our stuff down. We're gonna go watch the combine. And we get closer, like, oh, that's John Randall. He's just sitting there, just getting ready to watch the defensive line drills, and chopped it up with them a little bit. Just super chill, super humble, like kind of like
Yeah.
how you're made, right? Like
Yeah,
just
for sure. Yeah.
someone who probably got discredited for his size, and just had to put the faith into yourself, right?
Mhm.
Not the external things, because people
Yeah.
are always going to say what they're going to say. Good, bad, and different doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is about just having those, being grounded, being humble, just everything like you explained.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely love it. So I guess since we're kind of talking about, actually, I want to go back to the Senior Bowl. What was it like? Uh-oh. Oh, he disappeared. uh there he is.
Yeah.
No, you're good. You're good. We got you back. So I was gonna ask you about the Senior Bowl. What was it like when you got that invite? Did you know? I'm sure it was Jim Nagy who was, I don't know if he sends you directly the invite or what, but did you know you were on his radar when he's like putting together his boards and sending out invites and all that stuff?
Yeah. So my coach actually played in the Senior Bowl back when he was a quarterback at UCA. So we already kind of had the connections, and I've been talking to Jim Nagy from last year. Last year, I could have came out, and I had the Shrine Bowl and stuff like that too. But yeah, Jim Nagy, man, we were talking a little bit, and I knew that I was gonna get the invite sooner or later.
What made you go back?
I got the chance to play with my brother.
Oh, that's
He's at
cool.
UCA now, and it was just awesome. And then the legacy, you know what I mean? I was 10 sacks away, 10 tackle for loss away from the all-time record there. So, and I got it. So that was pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. So
Yeah.
what position your brother play?
Receiver.
Oh, that's cool. So
Yeah.
oh, you guys must have had some battles then back in the day, because if you're playing defense, he's playing offense. I'm sure you probably tried to, strap him up a little bit, show the young buck what's good. Do
Oh,
you
yeah,
play a little
yeah,
cornerback in the backyard?
yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Always.
I love that. I love that. So you get the invite to the Senior Bowl, and you already talked about, like, we know you had a fantastic Senior Bowl. I remember, I think it was you got it was the first practice. and warm-ups are going on. You guys are doing your like pre-warm-up stuff. And I get a DM from Coach Ed, who's at Sac State now coaching defensive line. And he's like, make sure you watch David Walker out of Central Arkansas. At this time, I hadn't heard of you. I'm like, okay, if Coach Ed's saying so, I'm gonna keep an eye out. And immediately, one-on-ones having a day, team period having a day, and then you go through the entire Senior Bowl and into the game, all of it. You're just very difficult to block. You mentioned the confidence that you were able to gain from that, but like, what was that experience like? Putting your hand in the dirt, even in like the one-on-one situations. I know John Lynch was standing right down the line of scrimmage on one-on-one, 49ers general manager. You got Mike Tomlin over here. You got all these scouts, GMs, coaches. What was that? What was that like moment like? Did you have to almost kind of suspend reality for a second just to make sure you could go play ball and play your game?
Yeah, man. It was a surreal moment because like I said, back to like you watch the Senior Bowl, you watch all these clips online, and like you're in it now. Like you're part of the clips, you're part of all the hype that comes with the Senior Bowl, and just seeing Mike Tomlin right there, getting the chance to talk to him, and just seeing like all the coaches there surrounding you, and just seeing like this stuff is real. Like the dreams that you've been dreaming, like all the stuff, the hard work, all the times that you man stayed up late grinding, and all this stuff is coming to fruition. So man, I was just honing it in, just taking it all in, and just playing ball. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed it, every bit of it.
How was it when you got like your first win? Like, was it, I know one-on-ones. I played offensive line, so I know what kind of pressure can come sometimes, especially in that environment. When one-on-ones, especially O-line, D-line, it's get your popcorn ready. This is like main event type stuff, because all the football nerds understand that it's big on big, it's best on best. And how was it when you got that first win? I mean, you're going against some good players in practice.
Yeah.
I mean, I think of like Anthony Belton, who was one of the guys who really stood out to me at tackle.
Yeah.
And you had some great reps against him. Like, what was that? Like, I think he'll probably be potentially second, third round talent, eventual starter in this league. And you were giving him some of that work. So, like, what was that? What was that like?
Yeah, it was like, man, it was awesome. Just seeing like I said, like all the hard work I've put in, and all like the things that I've done leading up until this point, getting to showcase it in front of the world, and getting to go against some of the best talent in college football. Um, it was just a surreal moment. I feel like that I seized the opportunity that was ahead of me. That's one of the reasons I wanted to go so bad, because I wanted to compete. I wanted to compete with the best, because people downgrade the FCS level, and there's so much talent in the FCS level, man, and we just don't get it looked upon like the FBS. So I just wanted to go there and just showcase that, man, we small schools belong too. You know what I mean? We got some gems, we got some really good talent too, and then the guys that were there, they were awesome. They were good people, genuine people to talk to, and I made a lot of friends there too, as well.
I always like to say, scout the player, not the helmet. Like there's everyone's path is so unique, right? Some guys heavily recruited, heavily, all the offers, all the visits, all that stuff. And then there's a ton of guys who just slide through the cracks. I mean, even you think of some of the best in the league right now, like Josh Allen. Like, he had to physically send his highlight tape to like every single coach just to hope that they see his community college tape, right? Like, so that's why I love talking to players like you, who have kind of haven't been really given much of anything. Like, you've had to go out and you've had to earn it. You've had to earn it at the D2 level, then you had to earn it at the FCS level, and now you're going to go earn it at the pro level. And what it sounds like to me is that you already know how much work you need to put in.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not really a deviation. You're not doing anything new. I think, if anything, does it feel like your work has been proven right? Like, I'm clearly on the right path. I just got to keep my head down and keep grinding at this point.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like people get complacent because to say like we made it, yeah, but I still gotta go make the 53, and I still gotta compete with the best talent in the world. You know what I mean? That's competing every day. These guys are fighting for jobs just like I'm about to try to go fight for a job too. So it's just for me, man, not getting complacent, keeping my head down, and continue to work and block out the outside noise. You know, I feel like Jalen Hurts said something, man, that really stuck with me too. Is before they had an opinion of me, I already knew my purpose. So I feel like just staying grounded and remembering all those things as I get to the next level. I feel like that's going to keep me there.
I love to hear that, man. Silent says, hope we take you, David. We need some more dogs. I agree. I absolutely agree. You mentioned some of the teammates. Actually, we're on kind of a run now. We had Femi Oladejo on the channel. We had
My
Josh
God.
Pointer on the channel.
Yeah.
Dude, I loved it. You and Femi like really developed a relationship, didn't you? Because
That's my guy.
I felt like after every single practice, it was you two together getting extra work in. Like you guys were always kind of by each other, always kind of bouncing things off each other. Well, what would you describe like him and your guys' relationship together?
Yeah, man, Femi, man, he's one of a kind, man. I feel like his energy, the enthusiasm, all that stuff he brings to the game. That's besides football, like not even going out to play a play. Just the energy he brings to the locker room is unmatched, and I feel like that draws people closer. That draws people closer to him, and I feel like, man, he drew me in. I like that. I enjoyed him. He's a great dude to be around. He's a believer, and man, he has a great career ahead of him for sure.
Yeah, he was fun to talk to because you know we got to watch him interact with KJ Wright. I got to watch you react with KJ Wright. My favorite rep was you cooked. It might have been Anthony Belton too. Again, respect to Belton. I think he's a phenomenal player, but you beat him off the edge. I don't know if it's like a cross chop, some kind of move to the outside where you beat him clean, and then you had KJ Wright chase you down. What was it like, you know, having that experience with KJ Wright? Obviously, it's near and dear to us because he's a 49ers coach, and, you know, we cover the 49ers. So what was that experience working with KJ? Because you guys spent a lot of time, like I said, before practice, you guys were doing like pre-rep stuff, and then after practice, you guys were doing stuff together. So what was that? What was that situation like?
Man, it was awesome. KJ, man, Coach KJ, man, coming in from the jump, he believed in me. He saw the work. He saw how I attacked the day. He saw how I wanted to go out there early. I wanted to do the extra reps. He saw those things, and I feel like that's a confidence booster for any type of player, any type of guy that you're trying to coach or recruit. It's just believing in them, even when things don't seem right. Believing in them, and I feel like just the relationship we built over that week is going to sustain for a long time. Like he called me before the combine. He said, "Man, just go out there and play, and like go out there and perform." You know what I mean? And I feel like that connection and that relationship is going to last a lifetime. Even if I don't get drafted to the 49ers, I feel like he's always going to be there. And it was cool to see. Like I didn't realize that he was the guy that he played with Legion Boom with the Seahawks.
He won a Super Bowl.
I was like, oh crap. And that was awesome. So it was just awesome.
Yeah, as a 49er fan, I know well because he had to go through us on the way to get there. So now he's on our side. We feel much better about him. But that's really cool to hear that you guys have been able to develop that kind of relation. Because you could, like I said, you could just see it. Like there was something with you three where you guys were constantly like just working. And I think that speaks to all like what we know of KJ too, right? And his energy and the way he goes about his business. It kind of feels like you guys are all cut from the same cloth. And I think that's what we love to see. And obviously, as a 49er fan, we would, at least me personally, and I know with fans that I've talked to, I think someone said, like, he's like, you're in every single mock draft that I do. I know I've mocked you a couple times to the 49ers. So I think I got one mock where I drafted both you and Femi. And I was like, dude, I would love these two. Yeah, this dude
Yeah,
says
that'd be awesome.
dude is in almost every mock I do. So, it's mock draft season. So fans getting super engaged into the draft and all that stuff. I got to ask, have you had much contact with the San Francisco 49ers? I guess in a formal setting, because clearly you and KJ have developed quite the relationship, but have you had any meetings, any visits, anything like that with the Niners?
Yeah, I had a Zoom. And then after pro day, I met with one of the coaches. Afterwards, we watched film and did all that, and we did all that stuff.
Was it Kosurk?
Yeah.
Ooh, hey, so that gets me going then. Have you got any feedback? Because I see a lot of draft people saying, oh, you're a stand-up outside linebacker in a 3-4. And obviously the 49ers run the wide 9, so you would need to have your hand in the dirt and be coming off the edge. I see you as a fit in that scheme.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people pushing back like, oh, he's probably a stand-up outside linebacker, probably because of how tall you are, shocker. But how do you see yourself fitting in the wide 9 scheme and being able to play off the edge in that scenario?
Yeah, I enjoy it. I feel like we ran it in the Senior Bowl, and it's the attack style defense. And I love it. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, that's a big part of me too. Like, man, I love proving people wrong. I'm not a big guy that hold grudges or anything, but I like to prove people wrong, and because I'm internally motivated. You know what I mean? So that's pretty cool.
Well, I love it. I could definitely see you playing on the other side of Nick Bosa. I mean, to be honest with you, man,
that'd be crazy.
What would that be like for you to be looking in the huddle? You got Fred Warner staring at you, calling out the play. You look down, there's Nick Bosa. You got Deommodore Lenoir, all these great players for the 49ers. What would it be like to be in a huddle with those guys?
That'd be awesome. You know what I mean? Just learning from the best. You got the best linebacker in the NFL, and you got arguably the best defensive end on the other side. Just learning from them each day, picking his brain, asking him so many questions, and it'll be awesome. It'll be awesome to get under their wing and just learn from them guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I look at the 49ers. We currently have a player that I really like, Sam Okwuonu. I think he's 6'1", and he plays edge. He's actually really good. He's I think a player that came onto football late, so he's kind of raw, coming out of Maryland. And, I think even before with Robert Saleh, we had Samson Ebukam. He's like 6'2", 6'3". So I'm a firm believer. If you can play, you can play. I don't care how long your arms are. I don't care how tall you are. Because if you know how to win, you know how to win your way. And so I know we're getting up against it here, and I don't want you to be late for your recovery, because I know it's a very important time of the year, not only training, but making sure your body's right. Do you have any plans for draft night and like how you spend time with your family? Keep it low key. You're going to have, a bunch of friends and family over to celebrate.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back to my hometown. I'm the second guy to ever do it. So I'm gonna have a draft party with my family and my friends, man. We're gonna kick it.
Has any team given you like a feeler of like where they think we're like 3rd, 4th round seems like a sweet spot for David Walker?
It's been mid 3rd, 4th round, but I saw one grade. It came out. It was like 2nd round, so that was kind of shocking. I was like, okay, hey, I said, don't play with me now, but. It'll be awesome. It'll be awesome. Either way, I get drafted.
Hey, man. Again, the only thing that people are going to knock your grade for, we already talked about it a million times. We know you can ball. So that's all that matters. I appreciate your time, man. Again, I love being able to come across just good players and good people, and you check all those boxes, man. So, if you end up on the San Francisco 49ers, I will be obviously thrilled, but I will be thrilled wherever you land, wherever you go. I'll be following your career for a long time, man. So I appreciate you taking the time, hopping on the channel, talking with the folks a little bit, allow us to get to know who's underneath helmet a little bit more, and just I appreciate your time, man. I really do.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, David. You can drop out. I'm going to talk with the folks for a little bit, but thanks again so much for your time. David Walker, Central Arkansas defensive end. I swear, how do we draft Femi Oladejo and David Walker in the same draft? How do we make this happen? I need it. I need it like I need to breathe air. Their skill sets are so complementary to each other, in my opinion. Oladejo and Walker, and how they get after the rusher and how they get after the quarterback. And I love the insight that David was able to provide of just really their relationship with Oladejo and with KJ Wright. And again, like, you could see it at the Senior Bowl. You could see the way they were gravitating towards each other pre-practice, post-practice, and you're like, yeah, these guys are legitimately, there's a vibe that is happening with these three. And so I love hearing that KJ called him before the draft or before the combine, and just gave him a little pep talk, gave him some inspiration, and I really love it, dude. I didn't even get to mention it to him, but his relative athletic score, he was ranked 296th out of 1,802 defensive ends since 1987. And he also earned an estimated athleticism score of 79. This is by the NFL, ranking 5th among edge prospects at the combine. Literally, the only thing you can attempt to knock him for is his height. And again, I don't even determine that to be that big of an issue, because low man wins at the line of scrimmage, and he's got the strength, he's got the speed, he's got the explosiveness, he's got the technique. So, and he's got the mindset, and I think he's a phenomenal player. I mean, you talk about a guy who is not only capable on the field, but off the field, like, he is, I think, one of the top character prospects. And I really think that's a huge, huge consideration when you have to draft players. You heard him. He is invested in the work. He is going to go to work no matter what. And nothing will change that. He also has a chip on his shoulder, based on how everyone constantly knocks him for his size. And what has he done? He only goes out and wins the FCS Defensive Player of the Year last year, 3 consecutive first team All-Americans, 3 consecutive conference Defensive Player of the Year awards. And he's still getting knocked. He's still not getting talked about. And he mentioned someone gave him a 2nd round grade. I think I'm trying to think back to what draft I took. I think I took him and Oladejo. I think it was 3rd, 4th. But we talked same thing we talked about with Oladejo. He's not going to be there in the 4th. And we were talking about Oladejo, we can maybe target at 75. I don't think Oladejo is going to make it to 75. Femi feels like almost like a top 50 player at this point. And then with David Walker, it comes down to preference, because whereas Oladejo has the, I would say, more prototypical defensive end measurables, while being a raw player transferring from linebacker to edge, Walker actually has the production. Like he has the proof. The proof is in the pudding. Like turn on the tape. This guy can do it. And also what I love is that he sat with Chris Kosurik and they broke down film. So do you know what that tells me? That tells me that the San Francisco 49ers are very interested in David Walker. If they're going to send Chris Kosurik to his pro day in Central Arkansas and then go into a meeting room and watch film together. Yep. So I absolutely thrilled by that news. It sounds like to me that David Walker and Femi Oladejo could be gold helmet guys. They really do. They sound like guys that the 49ers are going to look at and they're going to say, we got to have one of these guys. We might have to have both of these guys. Oh, I would be so hyped if the 49ers came away with both David Walker and Femi Oladejo. Could you imagine the synergy, the electricity that would create? Sheesh. I would love that. Silent says David James Harrison Walker. Nice. I like that. I don't know if David is as like mentally like, no disrespect to James Harrison. He just seemed like a crazy person. He's just like, he just looks crazy. David seems super chill, super cool, and then when it's time to go play, the switch is flipped. James Harrison is a madman, though. He's he's crazy. But you talk about, I love the nugget from John Randall. I thought that was really cool because again, man, like when you're playing ball and especially in the valuation process, it's just a hyper focus on measurables. It's like people throw out the film, they throw out the production, they throw out the tape to say this guy's not tall enough. This guy doesn't have long enough arms. At the end of the day, can you play or can you not play within the confines of the body that God gave you? If you can, you can. If you can't, you can't. Just because you have the desirable measurables does not automatically mean you're going to be the best player. So, does it give you every advantage in the world? Of course it does. But that's what makes the undersized player so dangerous. I think that's why I gravitate towards undersized players. I was considered undersized as an offensive lineman. So I'm a firm believer in, like, you could say whatever you want about my, I wasn't big enough. I was too light. That's fine. That's more fuel for the tank. Because again, man, if that's just how you operated and you put everyone into a box like that, you're going to miss out on some phenomenal talent. So I'm hyped. I really like David Walker. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, man. Ryan says, I feel like undersized might even be an advantage at the edge position. You're not lying. You are not lying, because with David, he's a smaller target. And we always talk about low man wins at the line of scrimmage. So you have to be able to have the requisite pad level. So you think about it, at 6'1", you're already under the pads. He has the technique, he has the speed, first step get off, and power. That's the thing. If you go watch what he was doing at the Senior Bowl, he was getting underneath the tackle's pads and putting them on their back. If anything, it's like, my like, you guys know, if I had to prototype someone, it would be Brian Burns, 6'5", 6'6", insanely long arms, insanely long legs, super fast, crazy, just ability to play at a distance from these tackles. But that's not the only way that you can have success or be successful at the next level. So I think that's the thing with when you have to evaluate, is his size a disadvantage or is it actually an advantage? And I think in his case, it's an advantage. Like, he gets knocked for something that I think works better for him. So at least as a a pure pass rusher, man, like screaming off the edge, getting after the quarterback, he's got the strength, he's got the speed, he's got the technique, he's got the heart, and he believes he can do it. So somehow, John Lynch, if you're watching this, please figure out how to get me Femi Oladejo and David Walker onto this team ASAP. But again, I appreciate all you guys. If you are liking the kind of pre-draft interviews that we've been doing, I think I'm at the point where I will almost have a prospect on every day this week. So I will have another prospect on tomorrow. I'll reveal that tomorrow when I make the live for it. So keep an eye out if you want to keep watching these prospect interviews. I should have one, I think, every day this week. So obviously with a week away, just going to keep talking to guys that I think could be a good fit for the San Francisco 49ers. So stay locked in on the channel. And again, I appreciate everyone who's tapping in, watching, commenting, all that good stuff. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you like this video if you're watching on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, if you're on Twitter, please share it. I would appreciate it. And I appreciate everyone who continues to support the channel. You guys are the best. We will be back tomorrow with another player to interview. So appreciate y'all. I'm out of here for now. Also, remember, David Walker really liked our intro video. Let's go. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see